From WDWNT, the worldwide leader in Disney Parks news, this is ParksCenter. Hello there, everybody. Welcome to another edition of ParksCenter, where we're going to go over the top 7 news stories from Disney and a little bit from Universal. Yeah, 7.
That's what you're missing.
Let me introduce everybody, starting with Mr. Interrupts-A-Lot, Tom Corliss over here.
Fake up.
Turning back now.
Oh, jeez.
That was pretty good. Pete.
Sivako.
Allison.
Hello, everyone.
And Ashley.
Hey, everyone.
All right, starting off tonight with our first story. Holding on to your butts here. V.I.Passholder Night. Yeah, I'm saying it right. I'm being careful about it. V.I.Passholder Night just happened. I swear I'm going to trip on that every time. It's not designed to be pronounced. Who all on call was here for that? I think Tom was, and Allison, were you?
I was.
I was there as well.
And Pete.
And Pete. Oh gosh, so a lot of people here. How was it? What was it? Was it any good?
Well, the marketing was very misleading. It was not a VIP buttholder night. It was just a regular extra magic hours for APs. Huge letdown.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing special about it. It's a nice gesture, but there's just, it's extra magic hours, which aren't usually, I don't think they're that great of a benefit anymore anyway. Usually I tell people to avoid parks when there's extra magic hours because everybody staying in a resort goes to them. But this wasn't that much less crowded than an extra magic hours. I mean, Mine Train, the line looked longer than it was any other night at close. So I don't know what the benefit actually was.
I loved it. If you're not staying in a Disney resort, you don't always get extra magic hours, and a lot of people that have annual passes don't do that. So I think for people, something, and all free of charge. So it was just like an actual 2-hour sort of bonus. The one complaint I have is that since I can't ride half the rides right now, the People Mover was not included in extra magic hours, and that got me a little sad. But
it's
actually,
like they don't know what pass holders like to ride. It's like they don't know who they're having the event for.
I would say that it did feel a lot less empty when you walked around. It kind of felt like you were in the park by yourself, but the wait lines, like Tom was saying, were pretty much your standard close of night wait times. There wasn't like walk-on rides. You still had to wait.
There was nothing else to do, so you got in line for rides. I mean, there wasn't any other offering. There wasn't entertainment. There wasn't merchandise. There was barely restaurants open, so there wasn't anywhere else for people to go than rides. So.
Well, we did walk on Pirates, which was nice. I did Tiki Room, and there was obviously nobody in there, but there's never anyone there. We did.
All that was before it started, though.
Which is still says something because the APs were coming into the park around 7, and the crowds were still there dissipating at that point as well. So that was nice. There were some rides you can get onto pretty quickly, but like the Splash, the Big Thunders, the Seven Dwarfs, all were your standard 30-plus minute waits.
It was also really cool to be in Country Bears with an entire audience of people who knew what they were in for and were excited to be there. And there were 20 people. It was pretty small, but everyone was super happy and dancing along to the music. And I think most of the time people around me are like, what is this? We came in here for air conditioning. And that's not the crowd on this night. So that's kind of neat.
Yeah, I was just about to ask if there was any sort of sense of community or anything, because you knew
everybody loudly quoted everything and ruined everything. The whole stretching room was people yelling the lines from the stretching room. It was like,
that's every
if
time
I want that, I'll go to Disneyland. I mean, come on.
It was a nice little sing-along in the Tiki Room as well. I think everyone kind of knew the lyrics.
Well, that's cool.
Oh.
Yeah, that's cool. But so most of it wasn't, again, the spieling along wasn't a fun thing. It was annoying.
It was cool. I mean, if you liked seeing the park semi-empty, if you're someone who doesn't get to see, for me, I like those moments when you have a walkway to yourself. You look around and it feels like you have the park to yourself. But the ride wait times were the same, and it was a limited version of the park.
Moving on to another event that's I guess technically a limited version of the park. Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. Little bit different though, because they actually have interesting events and things like that. So that's what we're talking about here. The event schedule came out for this year's parties.
That's a great post. Whoever wrote that is great.
Yeah, very well detailed.
Wow.
Shameless plug.
Yeah. So we've got Boo to You, we've got Hallowishes, we've got the Villain Spectacular stage show at the castle, Cadaver Dans, of course. We've got your mandatory dance parties, the Screamoween Ball and the new Storybook Circus one, and also a new Frontierland costume promenade, where essentially it's like a costume parade for your younger folks.
Yeah, I want to repeat, that's for younger folks, not for 20-something cast members. Go to the party. I want to make that clear.
You will know that I will be in that parade.
I wonder if they're just saying that in the marketing, they'll actually just pull people, which would be nice. But if it is just for kids, I hope they keep it just to kids, because sometimes it doesn't always happen with these things.
I honestly want them to like keep it to kids and folks who clearly put effort into making something cool.
Yeah,
highlight folks who go out and like make their own costumes and things like that. Like that's really cool. But focus on the kids for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, or matching costumes with the kids. I think that's cute.
Yeah, like the family costumes or something. That would be really cute. I'm not gonna lie. I'm just glad that they're adding more things to do. I think that's great, even though it's not necessarily things that I would want or feel that I should participate in. It just makes me happy that they're still adding offerings to it.
Yeah.
They
I'm about to mention the attraction overlays this year on top of these two new little entertainment things. So there's a lot of new stuff this year, actually.
Yeah.
Which attractions are getting the overlays again?
Space Mountain is getting a special audio track, which I think will end up just being Ghost Galaxy, but I could be wrong. Pirates of the Caribbean is going to have live actors in the attraction. I don't know how that's going to happen, but it's happening. And then Mad Tea Party's got special lighting for the night. So. I'm sorry, they can't all be winners.
But again, it's something. And for the past couple years, we've kind of complained that they really haven't done anything to change it or draw people back who went last year. So I think it's a great thing and a great sign that they are trying new things, even if they don't keep it all.
Yeah. It's good to see they gave Johnny Depp work for the fall.
If they actually got him for the ride. No,
that's why his next movie got canceled, so he could
just to make room in his schedule.
He could work all these Halloween parties
starting in 2 weeks.
He haunts the parties as it is. If you ask cast members, they swear that he shows up.
The rumor is like once a year he actually does Jack Sparrow, but I don't know how true that is.
I'm really excited about this. I love the Halloween party. It's my favorite party of the year. I love the parades. I love the Hocus Pocus. The fact that they're adding more things is great. Even if it's not for me necessarily, it brings more people away from the other things that I'm doing. So it means I can get more things done faster. I think this is a great thing. It's good to see them not just doing the same old thing.
Agreed. Speaking of not doing the same old thing anymore, we've got some new merchandise coming out for Haunted Mansion, which I am honestly pretty excited for this. And I believe actually, let's just skip the article here. Tom has this. He showed it off the top of the show.
Of course, Tom bought it. Don't be ridiculous. There it is. Look at that. Yeah. It's a dupe. It was only $15 after AP discount. It's like $12.
That's a great deal.
Yeah.
When I saw the article and I saw it was only $15, I was shocked. Same thing I was thinking with the AP discount. I'm like, they're like, in Disney terms, they basically are giving it away. Because, all the super fans would have paid easily $24.99, $28.99 for this thing.
That would have been my guess in price.
This is less than most pins, this thing. I think kind of amazing. I mean, a pin, like, honestly, this should probably be more than a pin, right? I mean, it's a large piece.
Oh, yeah.
And it's got a ton of different sayings. It says like 12 to 15
it's
different
like
things.
The last couple of lines from the ride. It's definitely like 6 to 8. It doesn't say how many on the box. I'm not going to go through them all.
In the video in the article, it literally walks through.
That's all of them.
So
which is like a minute of dialogue or so. Yeah.
So that's incredible.
It's a cool little piece, and I like that as like it's a little mirror piece. I don't know if I can turn this away from the screen so you don't get the reflection. But there we go.
Cool.
There you go. Oh, no, there we go.
So this is what, $135 less than a Disney After Hours ticket?
No, not quite. 114 or $104 less than a Disney. It's neat though. All this new mansion stuff is really cool.
It is. I think I'm not gonna lie though, that is really cool. I think I like the artwork though, just a hair more.
Yeah, I'm with you, Ashley.
Which art are we talking about?
The one you have it in the poster.
Oh, the puzzle? That one, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is the ride layout. If you look at it, it's the whole ride path going around.
That's
all
very
the
cool.
Yeah,
scenes.
at Wonderland they actually have it's on a white background, and it might be the same or slightly different, but it's just very similar. And I came this close to buying it.
It's the same, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, I agree with you, Ashley. I think that the Doom buggy is adorable, and it's really well priced for a novelty item like that. But I think that the puzzle is easier to display in a way that doesn't like catch dust. So I like that.
Wow. But also this Doom buggy can go out. I mean, besides, unless you're in the home of Tom Corliss, this could go out in most homes around the Halloween time. It's a seasonal item for your most homes.
Why is it seasonal?
Well, I'm just saying it for most
homes. I
homes.
can't have a haunted mansion shelf all year?
You can, but most families don't when they're, everyone comes over and they go, why do you have a Doom buggy on your shelf next to...
Why don't you?
Because...
I agree. Listen, I like it.
Magic 8-ball on your desk. I mean, what's the difference? It's almost like a magic
8-ball. What are we in 20 years ago? We're in a time machine?
Yeah, and you take out some of your saltwater taffy and
play with the toys from Andy's backyard.
Yeah.
That's what Tom said to me when I was like, I don't know what I would do with this. He's like, oh, you put it on your desk like a magic 8-ball, and I was like, oh, it's like
you know what this would be cool for?
1987.
Like, if I had a young child or a young niece or nephew and I wanted them to go on Haunted Mansion and kind of prep them, I'd have them play with the Doom buggy and then say, do you want to go on this in real life? And they'll already be familiar with the phrases. Maybe it'll be less scary. This is a training tool.
It's a train.
That's a really good one.
They're going to repackage it. Pete Carney's Doom Buggy trainer tool.
That's right.
Jeez.
Oh, gosh. Moving on from a not-so-scary Halloween party to actually a bit scarier one. This one coming to us courtesy of Theme Park News Today, which is our sister blog that covers essentially every theme park that isn't Disney. I'm not wrong.
No, it's true.
So we have some rumors about what Halloween Horror Nights are going to be this year. We've got a leaked photo of what is this? Stranger Things, Poltergeist, and Halloween.
Well, Stranger Things is announced, yeah, but the other two aren't.
We knew that, but the others a little bit of a leak at this point. I have never been to Halloween Horror Nights because I'm not interested in the super scary Halloween stuff. I know other folks have at.
I think it's well known at this point that I don't like Universal very much. But the one time a year I do like Universal's Horror Nights. I think the team involved in that does a really, really great job. And I grew up hating these things. I never liked haunted houses. I didn't like going to them. And then over time, I've fallen in love with this event because it's kind of the way we like Disney. There is this insane attention to detail. And I think what's really amazing about it is it's this insane level of detail and care for an event that's only there for like 2 months. And I think it's what's really amazing about it. And so every year it's completely different. So you have to go that year and see it because it will not come back. It's gone forever after that.
If only they put that level of effort into their normal attractions that are there the other 10 months.
That's what I say. I often say is like, why can't these guys work on the rides? Like I want this team working on attractions here.
They do look absolutely incredible, even from other videos and posts that we post and everywhere else. They look incredibly attention to detail.
Yeah,
I've never been during Halloween Horror Nights.
Things, I think, because they're going to do a great job with Stranger Things, and obviously that's still a really big deal. So,
Yeah, Ben, I'm a lot like you. I actually have never been because I don't like to be scared. I don't like people jumping out at me. But this year, like, I love the idea of going to a Stranger Things house and Poltergeist also just because of nostalgic reasons. But I went to a Stranger Things pop-up bar in Chicago, and it was so unbelievably overly themed, and I had like the best night of my life. There was like a line going around the block that was like 3 hours long that I waited in, and it was completely worth it. They were actually asked to stop doing that because they had not gotten permission from the creators of Stranger Things to do it. But I feel like if that could be that well done, like what can the team at Universal do? So maybe this year.
Gosh, I wonder if they like actually talked to that team, like reached out to them, like, "Hey, you want to do it officially?"
Oh, maybe.
I wonder. I have pictures from it. They're like it's outrageous. Like
I wonder if that's the same legal
down.
team that Jeopardy had.
I was about to make that same joke. You beat me to it. You beat me to the joke.
Oh, no.
I was gonna be like, that would be like the producers of a major game show contacting a Disney site.
Yeah, that could be a thing. The cool thing, going back to Horror Nights, a cool thing this year, the theme is 80s. All the houses and scare zones are taking place in the 1980s. I think that's really neat. So that nostalgia thing, I mean, Stranger Things is all about that 80s nostalgia. So the whole event this year, they have killer clowns from outer space and a whole bunch of other stuff. It looks fun this year. I'm very excited.
Yeah, I've never been, and I've never felt that I've missed out on anything. But this year, I would definitely want to go. I can't go, but it's the first year that I feel like I'm actually missing something that I'm going to be upset that I'm missing.
Do they charge extra for these nights?
Yeah, it's ticketed just like
Not
So Scary. The nicer thing is it is tremendously longer than Not So Scary. They're much longer, and they're generally cheaper. And there's all sorts of deals you can find for people who live locally or are going to go to a bunch of them. You can buy like Rush of Fear or Frequent Fear, which make each night very, very cheap. But then even so, like if you go to like local supermarkets and stuff, you can find cheap one-night tickets. So even though it's very popular, you can find it's a tremendous value.
Do they run it every single night?
No, it's select nights, and it expands more as the year goes on. So I think it's like 4 nights a week to start, and then it goes to like 5 or 6.
And do they start like Disney in 2 weeks, or do they start closer?
No, they'll start mid-September.
Gotcha.
I don't have the opening day in front of me. It's probably on that ad Ben had up. But, yeah, and to give you an idea, quick, since we have a couple seconds left, my parents are the reason I am a Disney fan. They were coming here before I was born. They finally came in October for the first time last year. I took them to Horror Nights. They preferred Horror Nights to Not So Scary. They thought Horror Nights was one of the most fun things they've ever done. And my mother doesn't really like being scared. She had the time of her life. So I'll say, like, again, I will not tell people to go to Universal during the day. I'll never recommend that. But I love Horror Nights. I think it's just such a fun time.
Huh. Yeah. All right. I might give it a shot sometime then.
Yeah, Ben, you and I can go together.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. All right, moving from a park that is well known for their simulators to a simulator that isn't actually
the king of transitions.
So good.
So we had it announced.
These are a lot of good articles you're showing.
Yeah. There's so many of these.
Don't encourage. Conceal. Don't feel.
So we had it announced this week that we knew about this for a while now. Lightning McQueen's Racing Academy is a new show coming to Hollywood Studios just outside Rock and Roller Coaster. But it was announced this week that the race simulator from Cars 3 is actually going to be constructed and part of the show. Like I find this honestly like pretty impressive. Like if you take a look at the clip of this, let me kind of jump forward to the part where it's a little more interesting. But it's like this full blown rig where you've got like the car up on this thing driving around. I'm I'm going to be impressed to see what this thing does moving around with like an actual, because I'm just overestimating what this is going to be, but I'm imagining that like we're going to have a Lightning McQueen car that's going to actually drive out up onto.
Oh yeah, he's going to drive onto it. Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to seeing what this mess ends up being.
No, I think it'll be great. I mean, if you think about it, they had to use a space for something, and I think people are getting tired of just a small presentation, take a picture, and get out. And they already have the technology in Disneyland with the driving cars, so it's cool to see it out here in, I guess, a small show form. I could see this. I mean, Tom, you would know better than anyone else. You wrote the article, but I'm assuming it'll be short shows, and you'll get a picture in front of them at the end or something like that.
I don't know if it even be a picture. It's not really a meet and greet thing; it's a show. So it's like a stage performance. So he'll come out and he won't just be on this thing. Supposedly he's going to drive onto it and it'll actually function. But they're spending a lot of money on this show, and the idea is it will be around for a bit.
Wow.
Until Cars 8.
I don't think they're making any more Cars movies. I thank John Lasseter for that lovely second film. Yeah.
Gosh, that was.
I'm not blaming him for ruining Cars or anything, but
nobody was feeling Cars.
Yeah, but they still sell tremendous amounts of merchandise, so I think that they don't care. They don't need to. They don't need to create another movie for that.
Aren't they still the most popular merch?
No, not anymore. They still sell merchandise, but they're not. It's not what it was.
It's great. I feel like it's my generation's Hot Wheels. At least my nephews love car stuff. The fact they can roll them around on the floor, and then it's a whole movie series about it. Cars is cool.
Yeah. Moving from there, I mean you covered it. Yeah.
Speaking of acting like a chicken,
speaking of sounding like chicken noises.
Speaking of chicken guys.
Oh gosh! Speaking of chicken guys, who aren't awful. Hey, there we go. So Chicken Guy, Disney Springs is somehow good. Like I was not expecting much. I don't think anybody really was. But this is reasonably priced food for a Disney area, and it's not garbage.
It's reasonably priced for anywhere. I think it's pretty similar to prices of probably your local fast food chain. I mean,
I love that sauce slinger outfit. Like I can't get over that. But so who was actually there to taste this? Was anybody here tried it yet?
I think just me. I think.
Oh,
Pete, you didn't go over, did you?
No, I talked to some people who went yesterday when I had some bunch of people who literally just left there. So I got your article, and Topher's article, and talked to some people, but I was not there myself.
Yeah, I mean, it's good. It's not going to change your life. I mean, but I think there are scenarios where this is a good option at Disney Springs. I think it's close to the movie theater if you need to really grab something quick before a movie. Or when eventually a Cirque du Soleil show ever returns, stuff like that. I think this is a good spot, and I think the cast members who work at Disney Springs and the people across the street at Team Disney are going to swarm this place when they're, they need a third restaurant in their rotation of Deluxe and Blaze. So now they can go to Chicken Guy on Wednesday.
I cannot believe there's still a line outside of Blaze. It's insane.
I mean, it's a good lunch, and I mean,
good pizza.
Yeah.
No, I know. I'm just saying, like, I was gonna go have some the other day, and when I saw a line out the door, I was like, I waited online for other things. I'm not waiting online for food.
It's mostly cast members. I mean, I know they have their own window in the back, but a lot of the people that work at Team Disney across the street and stuff will generally go to Blaze. So often I'll go there for lunch at like noon sometimes, and it's all people with the ID badge hanging out of their pocket, which you shouldn't do, by the way.
Yeah, you're not supposed to do that.
Yeah, and these are people in upper management.
What?
We won't get into this now, but yeah, all the self-important managers like to go to Blaze at noon.
Don't you dare talk about my cast members.
Now they can
I love cast members.
Well, they're not frontline.
No, they're wonderful.
Fun of the non-frontline people. Frontline people are wonderful. We're not talking about frontline people.
Okay.
But yeah, Chicken Guy is another option for the cast, and I think for guests it's a good thing if you just want something quick at Springs. I think it's good.
I think as good as Blaze is, I think that the line really speaks to the fact that there was a market for more quick service in Disney Springs. And even like Earl of Sandwich at lunch gets busy. I was in there the other day and I wanted to get water and the line was too long, so I had to get it from somewhere else. So I think that I know I made fun of this loudly for looking like a Chick-fil-A knockoff, but it seems like they actually executed it well and there's a market for it.
I don't like Chick-fil-A.
People I spoke with said the same thing.
You don't like Chick-fil-A?
I don't dislike it. I just think it's overhyped. I think people
absolutely.
We're just way overhyped.
Yeah.
And I think that this is what is serving Chicken Guy well is that everyone expected nothing and for it to be terrible, and they actually put out a pretty decent chicken tender, and I think that's why it's getting better reviews than as opposed to if there was all this hype around it. So I mean, from everything I've read and from people I've talked to, I heard it's still you're still dealing with chicken tenders and sauces, but it's not bad for the price point. It's a fun little spot with a lot of variety.
But 22 sauces, I mean, that's the thing. Like people, you go to McDonald's, is anyone other than kids eat chicken McNuggets plain? I mean, it's all about the sauces, and they don't have 22 sauces at McDonald's. So
yeah, it's entirely fair.
So since you're watching Guy Fieri, nice work.
Yeah, clearly. So are we gonna get Chicken Guy inside of WDWNT VR? Is that coming?
Oh no, I don't think so. I
No.
don't think the world needs a virtual Chicken Guy. I think a real life Chicken Guy is enough for everybody. You're not even funny in VR. That's great. Look at that.
Yeah.
Wow. No, I've been outed here.
So for those of you who aren't aware of what we're talking about here, WDWNT VR is something that we've been working on for quite a while now, and for our WIGS members and anybody else on staff as well. We're gonna have a lot of staff coming tonight. We're gonna be doing kind of our first public showing. Isn't that right, Tom? Like you know way more about this than I do.
Oh yeah. This is the first time we're letting the public into the park. We started working on this last summer, and so it's been a while. But it is a virtual Disney theme park, for lack of a better term, as if the inmates ran the asylum. So if WDWNT had the opportunity to build a Disney theme park, what would it look like? And this is what we ended up with. It's really cool thing that's this amalgamation of things from the past, things from the present, some original ideas. Just sort of, we got rid of our forums many years ago because forums aren't really, I don't think it's a very current thing. I wanted to come up with some other community, some place for people to get together and talk that wasn't a forum. And on top of this idea also seemed good. So we kind of blended the two together. The idea is it's this virtual park that you go to. It's a living, breathing thing. So people from all over the world can be there at any time. You can talk to them, interact with them, ride rides with other people who are also logged in and experiencing this at the same time. There are nighttime shows and rides and virtual bars, because why not? All sorts of fun stuff like that. And so it's this community aspect meets this virtual theme park. And so we're pretty excited about it. It's a crazy idea. A lot of people have been working on this for a long time. And tonight we're going to show it off for the first time, at least for WIGS members.
Yeah, this seems really cool. I had the chance to poke around a little bit in it earlier, and it's going to be neat. I am really looking forward. Like you've got automation on the rides, you've got the shows, like you said. This seems really something else.
Well, yeah, we have animatronics and there's effects and red car trolleys going up and down the street all day, and there's a nighttime show with actual projection mapping on the Chinese theater, and it's like a living, breathing theme park. Just because it's virtual, it doesn't mean we're not treating it like the real thing. I think it's a really cool thing. And if people want to see it tonight, in just a couple minutes, we'll be previewing it. But you have to be a WIGS member, so you have to join at patreon.com/WDWNT. But we will be opening this to the public in a couple weeks, couple months from now.
Yep. And that right there is going to do it for tonight's show. Thank you, folks, for watching tonight. or listening tonight, as may be the case, if you are watching this live and you'd rather be listening, we do have a podcast feed. If you go search for ParksCenter in your favorite podcasting app, we're on iTunes and Stitcher, and I think we're cropping up in a couple other places as well at this point. If you are listening to this and you'd rather have something a little more visual, you can check us out. We stream live every night at 9 p.m. or every Wednesday night, I should say. 9 p.m. No, we're not moving to a daily show, folks. On WDWN Tunes. And you can also catch our replays at youtube.com/WDWNT and watch on demand there. If you are watching live and you are a WIGS member, then you should be hopping on over into Second Life so that you can join us for that live tour of the park. And if not, stay tuned for when you can. Otherwise, I will see you folks next week. Thank you for joining us.